Okay, thank you so much for joining. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, sir. Very good afternoon. So, I have a total 6 years of overall IT experience in FMCG environment as well as global IT environment. In my previous role, I worked as a senior technology associate, where my primary focus was governing the changes related to manufacturing services as well as for the business critical services. I was responsible for handling in all the infrastructure changes, which includes patch management, vulnerability management, major application upgrades as well as major OS rollouts for the endpoints, which includes servers as well as end user machines. Apart from this, I was also involved in CAP facilitation, stakeholder management, conducting PIRs for the failed or emergency changes.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from this, I was also involved in conducting process improvement initiatives for the for change management and overall infrastructure process improvement initiatives. So that my primary role was to check the existing processes if there are any gaps in the existing processes. So to find the loopholes and prepare so to improve the services so that the environment is ready for the audit. So this was all about my previous role.
So when you say process improvement for change, what all you have witnessed? Like what major improvements you have done or you have seen, which was lacking previously? Any example?
Ye- Yes. So for the patch related, we had a standard and normal change. For pilot, we used to conduct standard change, and for the production, we used to raise normal change. But this was the monthly change which we used to raise for, like, for the second Tuesday we used to conduct our pilot for the patching, and on the very next Saturday we used to conduct production. But this was a repeated behavior where we have proven a rollback plan. So I checked with the stakeholders from the business sides and from the IT teams and even from the security teams that can we move this production into a standard change. So that time it was a pushback from the security team, that because the production systems were critical and even for the manufacturing it was quite critical. But we tested it with the network team and security team, and once that it was approved, we started following the standard change process even for the production systems as well. So this was the major role, major process change which I had done in my previous role.
Okay, great. Okay, tell me, what checks do you perform before approving any RFC as a change
Okay,
manager?
so yes, so the very first one is the CIs, which CIs are being affected due to this change, the scope of that particular change and impact of that change, uh, and the scope of the change, which includes which services are being affected, whether it is a customer service, customer facing service, or whether it is a SLA service, according to that. And apart from this, the rollback plan, whether the rollback plan is tested or not, it is tested in a production like load and environment or not, and whether the pilot testing is being performed or not. And apart from this, which time, like the change window, whether it is during business hours or during off business hours, or during it is being implemented during maintenance windows or not. So these are the mandatory checks which we perform.
Okay, tell me one thing, how change management and CSM is connected.
See,
CSM is
sorry sir,
customer service
I'm
management.
customer service management. Sir, I'm not well aware of this.
Okay, so after the call, please check it out and ping me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Share your answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you ensure control deployments and while maintaining service stability as well?
Okay. So for this, we first coordinate with the technical teams, like which services are being affected, and first we ask them to test it internally in their internal systems. Once once the feedback is approved from the other stakeholders, we move it to the pilot deployment. And once the pilot deployment is also conducted, we move it into a phase wise manner. Like for the phase one, we target for the one particular region, and we ask for the feedbacks from the customers. Once it is approved, then we roll out to the entire production systems so that it is deployed in a controlled manner.
Okay. Okay, suppose you have deployed a major change, okay? And as soon as you
Mm-hmm.
committed the changes and all, after 5 minutes, the team noticed that there is an outage. So how you handle such situation, or what you are doing in your company to avoid such situations?
Okay. So the very first thing which we check, we immediately connect with our implementer group. We whether it is whether it is, suppose in my previous role we had faced this situation.
Mm-hmm.
The change was it was for manufacturing systems, and it was approved for only for the particular sites. But due to the wrong target group selection, it was rolled for the other sites as well. So we immediately connected with our implementer group. We asked them to stop the deployment, and we checked which systems were affected.
Mm-hmm.
And once that service restoration was done, we conducted PIR, and then we found out that the due to the wrong endpoint target group selection, the issue was happened. So the first priority was to restore the service, to restore that one the sites, and then to conduct PR for that change.
So, and how you handle customer?
Sir, for the like for my in my previous role, it was FMCG, so it was not a customer facing role, but customer facing service, but it was a manufacturing service. So due to this, it caused a PNR, and due to the human error, it caused PNR. So it was from next time, we what we did is that we asked the implementer group to add a deployment evidence in the change before doing any deployment.
Okay. Okay. Have you been a part of cab or e-cab
Yes, yes.
on under what capacity?
Sorry, what?
Means what was your role in that? You were a part
Yes,
of
so my
cab
role
under
was to
what capacity?
yes, so my role was to prepare an agenda for the cab. So once it is approved from my change manager, we used to present the agenda. So uh, in that we check which are the highest priority changes, and present that changes to the stakeholder, and listen to their concerns whether that change is okay to move forward, or if there are any rejections, so to note that rejections. And apart from this, if there is any change conflict, if that same multiple changes affecting the same CIs, and if the cab members are not okay with that, then uh, note their decisions and to defer those changes. And after that, once the cab meeting is over, then to prepare the MOM for the cab and to circulate it among all the cab members. So this
So
was my role in cab.
have you noticed or witnessed any rejection for a change in your cab meeting where you were
Uh,
making agenda and all? Basically, you are facilitating, right? You are facilitating
yes,
the change
yes.
cab meeting. So any instance you remember where you see a change was rejected, and if yes, then what was the reason?
Yes. So it was a major OS rollout for the endpoints, that is from the 2022 to 2023. So for that, it was for all, for business endpoint users as well as, and for the manufacturing endpoint devices as well. So in that case, that deployment was not initiated for the business. So the cab members were not ready to move it to the manufacturing services unless it is unless it is completed for the business end users. So in that case, they rejected that change request and asked to complete it for the business end users, and then move it forward to the productions once the change success is measured. So
Okay,
that time it was rejected.
okay, great. Is it possible that under one window we have more than one changes to be deployed?
Yes, it is possible. The only thing is that it is not affecting the same CIs. if it is not affecting the same CIs or even the dependent CIs or the services, then we can deploy the changes in that one multiple changes in the same window.
Okay. How do you find dependencies?
Uh, so for dependencies, so we had I have worked on fresh service. So in first service, we have our own CMDB as well as the Omnidza portal where we check the dependencies. Suppose for the one application, there are multiple application dependencies. So they are listed there itself. So we
Mhm.
check it through CMDB.
And who is updating or creating these dependencies? Do you have any idea from where these dependencies between CIs is coming into the tool?
So these dependencies are being handled by the asset management team for all the servers, for all the applications and other services. And for the hardware, it is being handled by the hardware asset management team in my existing organization.
Okay, great. You know what is a blackout period?
Yes. So blackout periods are the periods where there are like financial closure or year end or quarter end closures or peak sales period. So during those period, so these are the predefined period basically, and these are also included in the change calendar. So during those periods, there are no normal and standard changes are allowed. But if there are any critical emergency changes, only those changes are allowed. And for those changes, even in fresh service or in service now, we have that blackout trigger. So if any user raises any change request during that period, it triggers and generates an event so that that change does not proceed further.
Okay, great. Do you recall any of the learning from a failed emergency change?
Learning from the failed emergency change. Uh, yes. So,
Take your time. No need to rush. Okay. In
um,
interviews as well, just take your time. Do not be in so much hurry. Okay.
yes. Mm, yes, so I recall one emergency change for there was a vulnerability managed. So I was also part of the vulnerability remit management team, and we had a out of band patch released, and which was so that out of band patch was applicable for all the manufacturing servers. And that out of band we raised emergency change request for the application of that out of band patch,
Hmm.
and it was affecting the SQL servers directly, and we applied that out of band patch to the manufacturing servers. But what here we missed is that to check the dependencies, because that SQL servers were having other dependency applications which were not compatible for this patch. So what we did is once it is applied, so SQL servers were stopped working, all databases were crashed. So due to this change, it caused a blunder, and we immediately rolled back that patch. And to fix that, we immediately connected with the vendor, and vendor asked to the dependencies application to upgrade the dependency application to the latest version so that it will be compatible with the out of band patch. So this is what we did for that to fix that emergency issue.
Okay, great. Suppose there is a change freeze going on, but I want to do some business critical changes. Is it possible, first of all? And if yes, what should be the procedure? Means what should be the chain of command here?
Mhm. Okay, so in this case, first from the requester, I would like to understand whether it is any improvement initiatives which are being done, or whether this change is fixing any P1, P2 incident. If it is low risk, if it is low risk and any improvement initiatives which are being conducted, then I would request the requester to defer the change after the change freeze. period. And if it is a critical emergency change, then I would ask the requester to provide the business justification for it. And first we need before the change is being approved by the cab members, it has to be approved by the in our existing organization. It has to be approved by the chief information officer. Once it is only once it is approved, then only we move further for that change. Otherwise, we will ask the requester to uh, move further with the change post change freeze period.
Okay. Okay. One last question. How do you maintain audit readiness for production changes? You worked on audit
Okay.
as well, right?
Yes, for audit SOPs.
Okay. So how do you maintain audit readiness for production changes?
For production changes, we ensure that the changes are being applied during that approved time window. And the second one is we ensure that the rollback plan is tested. And the third one is that we ensure that there is no unauthorized change. And fourth one is that we ensure that the change policy is there. First of all, the very important for the audit, the change process and change policies are there. And so I think yes, these are yes, and the last one is the PIR documentation. If the PIR for any emergency or high risk change, there should be a PIR documentation. So all these things are mandatory for the audit.
Okay. So have you been using ServiceNow for managing change process or what else in your
Actually,
company?
sir, so we were using Fresh Service for managing the changes, and for Splunk for monitoring the alerts and events.
Okay. So you have no experience in ServiceNow, right?
Yes, sir, no experience.
Okay. Okay. I'm done with the discussion. You have any question?
Yes, sir. So I have few questions. So if you can just stop recording.
Yeah, sure. Just
Thank you.